Welcome to Community Connection with Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein. Join City Attorney Zach Klein as he connects the dots between the laws, policies, and legal decisions that impact Columbus now and into the future.
How y'all doing? My name's Zach Klein. I'm the Columbus City Attorney. And I'm here today to talk about an important announcement and partnership that we're doing with the United Way involving the Earned Income Tax Credit. Since becoming city attorney about 2 years ago, it's become increasingly noticeable just the intersection between poverty and the criminal justice system. And a lot of the reforms that we're doing take place inside the courtroom. But there's a lot of stuff we could be doing out in the community that can help people that desperately need money put money that's owed to them under the IRS tax code into their pockets. That can help families and that can help children.
Our goal is to leverage as many resources as possible in our community to help improve economic mobility. So what we know is we have 400,000 people that live at 200% of poverty or below. So that's 1 in 3 of us in Franklin County that do not have the income needed to meet their expenses. But what we know is that there's over $2 billion that's left each year in Ohio of unclaimed benefits. So people are entitled to benefits that they're not even aware of. So some could be like WIC as an example of, or child care benefits that people just don't know. They don't have the information to know that they qualify for it. And we don't want money to be left on the table, and we want people to have as much money in their pocket as they deserve, right, and that they qualify for. And taxes are really important. One is getting your taxes done is an intimidating process for many people, and people don't necessarily know how to do it on their own. And then there are lots of predatory tax preparers who take advantage of people who are not confident in their taxes. And we provide a free program that uses volunteers throughout the city during tax season that helps as many people that qualify if you earn $57,000 and you're single or less. And it's remarkable.
When I think about criminal justice reform, I think about 3 things. One is social justice. The second is actually making our community safer. And the third is economic opportunity. And it's in that space that I feel like we can talk more and do more to promote criminal justice reform. And promoting the Earned Income Tax Credit, the EITC, is a way to do that. The Earned Income Tax Credit is a section of the federal tax code that allows families and individuals who work actually get additional money back from the federal government. It actually has a 3-year look-back period that families can receive up to $12,000 cash. So this is a way for our office in partnership with the United Way of Central Ohio to be able to have tax preparation sites, enlist 150 people that work for me as Columbus City Attorney to be tax preparers to help the community that has owed money to them under the law so they can raise their family and be the moms and dads and the successful people that they want to be. And I welcome you to visit the Columbus City Attorney website and learn more. As the prosecutor in the city of Columbus, we prosecute all misdemeanor cases ranging from traffic violations all the way up to very serious domestic violence. We were the very fortunate winners in the city of a technical assistance grant from the federal government that's going to help us streamline our practices as it relates to domestic violence and intimate partner homicide.
I hope that having a spotlight on this problem will make the city of Columbus a guidestone, someone that other people can reference on how to effectively, safely represent the populations affected by gun trauma and domestic violence and gun use and any offenses of violence. I think having these resources and the technical assistance means we can get it right and then share the information.
As you may know, a domestic violence abuser that possesses a gun is 5 times more likely to kill their partner.
Oftentimes judges will indicate for somebody to not have a firearm. We don't have a venue to seize those firearms or a place to take them if we do seize them. We don't have the ability to enforce certain court orders when it comes to firearms.
Between law enforcement, the sheriff's office, prosecutors, and victim advocates, sometimes not everyone is on the same page as it relates to best practices and how to disarm some of these abusers.
There's a difference between what a municipal court judge gets and what a common pleas court judge gets as far as the information, as far as getting that, having the knowledge that the weapons need to be taken. And then in order to get buy-in from all the parties, you also have to have a process for returning them that's safe, and effective, that you're not returning weapons to people that still shouldn't have them.
So this technical assistance grant, which Columbus was one of 3 cities in the United States to receive, will be able to identify best practices with experts in the field.
This project is something that I think most of us have been waiting for. We all exist in our own silos and don't necessarily share the information with each other in the most effective way. This is a motivator to get us to share our information so that Common Pleas, Municipal Court, and all of our community supporters are working on the same page. It's kind of like the Center for Family Healing. Instead of someone having to tell their story 15 times, you can tell it to one person, and hopefully we'll be able to disseminate that information and effectively protect the communities and people that are affected by domestic violence and firearms terror in their lives.
These are the most dangerous runs that law enforcement go on. We have to help them identify the best resources to disarm these individuals so that they are safe as well too. Since becoming the Columbus City Attorney 2 years ago, we've had an intensive focus on reforming the criminal justice system. We're doing it for 3 reasons. The first is social justice. The second is practices that actually make our community safer. And the third is using the criminal justice system as an economic development tool, a way to lift people and their families out of poverty, out of the circumstances they're in, so they can be the moms and dads they want to be. All of our practices revolve around those 3 things. And we've been very busy doing our part within our control as prosecutors to reform the criminal justice system. For example, I've been partnering with the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office in what is called Senate Bill 3. It's a bipartisan piece of legislation that moves low-level felony drug possession down to a misdemeanor. It helps people focus on rehabilitation and punishes traffickers. So we're able to split the difference, understanding that people do need help, but there's those that prey on them to deserve to be punished. Next, because of the hemp versus marijuana distinction under the Ohio Revised Code, I've made the policy call in conjunction with other stakeholders that we're no longer prosecuting marijuana in the city of Columbus. Third, in the issue of bail reform, we have made the decision that we are no longer, absent unique circumstances, going to be asking for cash bail, money bail, for nonviolent misdemeanors. The fourth is really the thing that I'm most proud of, and that's First in the Nation diversion program that identifies and treats the root causes of crime and builds an individual, specific, tailored plan to each individual defendant to treat that. We want to lift people up. There are still bad people that deserve to go to jail for a very long time, and we will advocate for those criminal sentences. But there's a whole vast majority of people that just need help because they're battling addiction. They need economic opportunity. They have a mental health issue that needs to be addressed. The criminal justice system doesn't always have to be geared towards punishment. There's a time and a place for that, but it can also be geared towards rehabilitation and giving people the hope and opportunity that they deserve. That is true criminal justice. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or sign up for our monthly e-newsletter. And so thank you for joining us today on Community Connection. I'm City Attorney Zach Klein, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.